We often associate cold with discomfort. A shiver, a goosebump, a breath that fogs in the air. But for people living with sickle cell disorder, cold is more than uncomfortable. It can be dangerous, even deadly. This isn't just about jackets or heaters. This is about how cold, the very air we breathe, can turn the bloodstream into a battlefield. Today, we explore why cold temperatures are one of the most overlooked, underestimated, and yet most devastating triggers of sickle cell crises. When we're exposed to cold, even mildly, the body reacts in an instant. To preserve heat, blood vessels shrink, a process known as vasoconstriction. It's the body's natural defense to keep your vital organs warm. But there's a price. As blood vessels narrow, the space for blood to flow becomes tighter. And in someone with normal red blood cells, this might just mean cold fingers and a runny nose. But for someone with sickle cell, this shift in circulation can trigger chaos. Sickled cells are stiff, sticky, and inflexible. Unlike healthy, round red cells, they don't bend easily. They don't slide. They clog. So when the blood vessels shrink in cold weather, it's like forcing traffic through a narrow tunnel. The result? White heavy check mark blocked blood flow. White heavy check mark oxygen starvation in tissues. White heavy check mark inflammation. White heavy check mark sudden excruciating pain. And that's just the beginning. The pain from a sickle cell crisis is not just a dull ache. It's sharp, deep, bone level. Imagine every heartbeat pounding against a blocked vessel. Every second, the body begging for oxygen it can't get. Cold-induced crises often hit the hands, feet, chest, or joints, areas farthest from the heart and most vulnerable to temperature drops. And sometimes, they hit out of nowhere. One moment, you're laughing with friends in an air-conditioned room. The next, you're struggling to breathe, curled in pain, praying for relief. Here's the thing, it doesn't have to be snowing to trigger a crisis. Cold exposure happens in everyday moments. An air-conditioned church or office. A morning breeze on bare skin. Rainy season chills in tropical countries. Cold water from a bath or shower. A hospital or exam hall kept too cool for comfort. For sickle cell warriors, these moments matter. Because the body doesn't always need freezing temperatures to react. Sometimes, it just needs a few degrees of cold. And suddenly, the bloodstream becomes a war zone. Aisha, age 19, lives in Nigeria. It's not snowing there, but the rainy season brings cool breezes and sudden temperature drops. One morning after a cold shower, she starts limping. By evening, she's in the ER. The diagnosis? Cold-induced vaso-occlusive crisis. David, 24, works in a city bank. The air conditioning is always freezing. Suits don't help much. After a week of long shifts and ignoring his body's warnings, he ends up hospitalized for 6 days. Then there's Maya, a college student in the UK. She tries to fit in, downplaying her condition, not wanting to be that girl with the blanket. One snow day later, her body pays the price. These aren't just stories. They are warnings. Let's go deeper. Cold not only shrinks blood vessels, it also slows metabolism and circulation. This means oxygen takes longer to get to where it's needed. Sickled cells have more time to stick, clump, and pile up. The immune system also slows down, increasing infection risk. And once a vessel is blocked, inflammation spreads, worsening the pain. Even a brief exposure can trigger a crisis that lasts days or weeks. It's not about being weak. It's about understanding the science and acting on it. Cold may not be avoidable, but it can be managed. Here's how. White heavy check mark, layer up always, even indoors. White heavy check mark, avoid cold showers, use lukewarm water instead. White heavy check mark, stay dry, wet clothes amplify the cold. White heavy check mark, keep socks and gloves handy. White heavy check mark, carry a sweater to AC heavy environments. White heavy check mark, use heat packs in vulnerable areas like joints. White heavy check mark, speak up, ask to adjust the room temperature if needed. White heavy check mark, listen to your body, shivers are your early warning system. Prevention is easier than recovery. For most people, cold is just weather. For someone with sickle cell, cold is a trigger, a risk, a threat to their peace. It may not shout, it may not hurt right away, but it creeps in, and if ignored, it can break the body from the inside. So dress warm, stay dry, protect your blood, because in a world full of things you can't control, you can still choose to stay warm. And that choice could mean one less crisis. Stay warm. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.